Have you ever noticed how often older adults find themselves wide awake at 3 a.m., unable to drift back to sleep? You might be lying there in the stillness of the night, eyes fixed on the ceiling, questioning what's happening to your body or your mind. The reality is this experience is far more common than you might imagine, and it isn't just a random quirk or simply a byproduct of aging. In this video, we'll uncover 5 key reasons why people tend to wake during the early morning hours, often right around 3 a.m., and what these wake-ups may actually be signaling. Each explanation sheds light on something deeper about your health, your body, and even your life journey. By the time you finish watching, you may come to view your sleep patterns from a completely new perspective. These insights go far beyond surface-level answers. They're grounded in real biology, psychology, and the natural rhythms of aging that many people rarely recognize. We'll cover shifts in hormones, evolving sleep cycles, medical challenges, as well as emotional and social factors that may be quietly shaping your nights. And we'll approach it in a way that's honest, supportive, and deeply respectful of the years you've lived. So if you've ever woken up in the middle of the night wondering, why now? You're exactly where you need to be. Stay with us until the end, because what you discover here could not only improve your sleep, but also help you better understand and appreciate the changes your body is moving through. Let's begin. Number 1, a decline in melatonin production. One of the clearest explanations for why many older adults awaken at 3 a.m. is the body's gradual reduction in melatonin as we age. Melatonin is the hormone that governs our sleep-wake rhythm, often described as the body's internal clock. It plays a crucial role in helping you both fall asleep and remain asleep through the night. When you were younger, your body produced a steady, healthy flow of melatonin each evening, allowing you to sink into deep, restorative rest. Over time, however, that output begins to diminish. This change can significantly affect the quality and continuity of your sleep. You may still fall asleep with little trouble, especially after a busy or relaxing day. But by the early morning hours, whether it's 2 daha, 3 daha, or 4 a.m., your melatonin reserves may dip too low to keep you in that restful state. As a result, you wake not because of noise or a troubling dream, but simply because your brain begins shifting back toward alertness without enough melatonin to anchor you in sleep. This isn't a sign that something is wrong, nor does it mean your body is failing. It's simply the natural shift of internal chemistry over time. External factors can also amplify the problem. Even subtle light sources, a street lamp filtering through the curtains, the glow of a digital clock, or a hallway light under the door, can further suppress melatonin. As you get older, your body often becomes more sensitive to these environmental cues, making those 3 a.m. wake-ups even more noticeable. Take Harold, for example. At 72, he always thought of himself as a solid sleeper. Yet recently, he finds himself waking like clockwork around 3:15 a.m. He doesn't feel worried or distressed, just completely awake, as though it's already time to begin the day. Once Harold realized this wasn't a personal failure, but simply a normal part of aging, linked to melatonin, he stopped blaming himself and began adjusting his routines. Now, he makes sure his bedroom stays darker, avoids screens for at least an hour before bed, and takes a short evening walk to reinforce his body's natural circadian rhythm. These simple shifts send a clear signal to his body that it's still nighttime. While he still wakes earlier on occasion, he's learned how to cooperate with his body instead of fighting against it. This kind of perspective can be a turning point. When you understand that those early morning wake-ups aren't your fault, but rather the result of natural chemical changes, you gain the power to support your sleep instead of resenting your body. That's the value of awareness. It transforms frustration into self-compassion, and it guides you toward wiser choices in caring for yourself at night. Number 2, a shifted sleep cycle and advanced sleep phase. Another major reason older adults often find themselves awake around 3 a.m. is a natural shift in the body's internal clock, known as advanced sleep phase. As we grow older, circadian rhythms gradually move forward. That means we may begin feeling drowsy earlier in the evening and wake up earlier in the morning. You might notice yourself dozing off during a late night movie or waking at dawn without an alarm, even on days when you'd prefer to sleep in. This shift isn't just a matter of habit. It's rooted deeply in biology, and it tends to become more pronounced with age. In younger years, our body clocks often line up with a later bedtime and a morning wake-up that feels in harmony with daylight. But as the rhythm advances, the sleep window shifts forward. You may find yourself nodding off around 9 p.m. or even earlier, which means by the time 3 a.m. arrives, your body has already cycled through its full rest. That's why you can feel completely alert in the middle of the night, even though it's still dark outside. This doesn't indicate a problem. It simply reflects that your internal schedule has been gently reset over time, ticking forward little by little each year. While not harmful, it can feel inconvenient if your lifestyle, family needs, or personal preferences don't fit with this new rhythm. There's also a subtle psychological layer to this change. Many older adults live in quieter homes or spend more time alone. That calm environment can intensify the body's natural cues to wind down earlier in the evening without the bustle or noise that once delayed bedtime. And if you're no longer working full-time or following a structured routine, the absence of external time markers like meetings, commutes, or social events can amplify this internal shift even more. Consider Charles, age 68 and recently retired. His evenings are usually quiet. He eats dinner around 5:30 p.m., spends an hour watching television, and then heads to bed. By 9 p.m., he's fast asleep. By 3 a.m., his body is naturally ready to wake. He doesn't feel anxious or restless, just awake and alert. At first, Charles assumed he was dealing with insomnia, but once he learned about advanced sleep phase, he realized nothing was actually wrong with his sleep. It had simply shifted. Charles began making small changes to extend his evenings. Reading a book under a soft light, taking a slow walk after dinner, and sometimes calling his daughter for a short chat before bed. These gentle social and sensory cues helped push his bedtime a little later, which gradually shifted his wake-up closer to morning. The result? Fewer 3 a.m. awakenings and a stronger sense of alignment with his daily routine. This natural adjustment in sleep cycle is something many older adults experience, though it's rarely discussed. Understanding it can lift much of the guilt or confusion and give you a more compassionate way to cooperate with your body instead of battling against it. So, if you're waking at 3 a.m. feeling like you've already had a full night's rest, your body may simply be operating on an earlier schedule. And once you recognize that, you can shape your habits to support, not fight, your well-being. If you're still with us and finding these insights helpful, go ahead and comment number 2 below to let me know you're watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on notifications. Your support allows us to keep creating valuable content to both inform and inspire you. Now let's continue. Number 3, physical discomfort and health-related interruptions. Another frequent reason older adults find themselves awake at 3 a.m. is the body's response to physical discomfort or underlying health issues that often surface during the stillness of the night. As we age, the likelihood of experiencing chronic conditions or subtle health concerns increases, and many of these don't sound any loud alarms. They appear quietly. It could be a stiff joint, a full bladder, or a sudden twinge in the back, and that's often enough to pull you out of deep rest. Arthritis, for example, can make staying in one position for hours uncomfortable. You might not notice it as you first drift off, but several hours later, the aches can build until they finally wake you. For others, nighttime acid reflux may be the culprit, especially if dinner was eaten late or you reclined too soon after a meal. Even seemingly minor issues like dry mouth, muscle cramps, or small change in room temperature can disturb sleep in the early morning hours, a time when the body's defenses are more sensitive and less forgiving than they once were. One of the most common physical reasons older men wake around 3:00 a.m. is the need to use the bathroom. As we age, the bladder loses some of its elasticity, which means the urge to urinate can arrive more quickly and more frequently. During the day, you may not notice it as much because distractions keep your mind busy. But in the quiet stillness of 3:00 a.m., that sensation becomes unavoidable. And once you get out of bed and move, even briefly, to the bathroom, your body can shift from deep rest into a lighter, more alert state, making it harder to drift back to sleep. Medications are another important factor. Many older adults take daily prescriptions for blood pressure, heart conditions, or pain management. While essential, these medications often carry side effects such as increased urination, shifts in body temperature, or heightened sensitivity to light and sound, all of which can quietly disrupt sleep. Often, people don't realize the connection between their medication schedule and their nighttime wake-ups until a doctor points it out or they begin keeping closer track of their habits. Number 4, lifestyle habits that shift your sleep rhythm. Another powerful yet often overlooked reason older adults wake up at 3:00 a.m. lies in long-standing daily routines. Over time, subtle lifestyle patterns quietly reshape the body's internal clock.